station. And then now, please help me join and welcome Superintendent Michael Burke. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cooley. Thank you for that smattering of applause. Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a nice summer. And to all of our parents out there, we are excited to roll out the red carpet and welcome your children Monday morning as we kick off a new school year. For our parents of kindergartners, the first day of school is extra special, and this year we will welcome the class of 2038 into our kindergarten classrooms. For the third year, we have provided our registered families for kindergarten readiness kits, which cover both English language arts and mathematics, and we're seeing those kits being utilized and making a difference as our kindergartens come to school more ready than ever. For our families that are new to the community, we have a welcome center. I'm not sure everyone's aware of that, but this welcome center is ready to assist with registration and provide resources in multiple languages to ensure a smooth transition into schools. The welcome center this summer helped over 1,500 families, new and returning, with registration, immunizations, and getting enrolled in school. We are coming off a great school year, and I'm looking forward to building upon that success this year. Just a few highlights. We are very proud that we have maintained an A rating for the School District of Palm Beach County, and that's because of the hard work of our students and our teachers and our school administrators and support staff. And just some highlights of that, we have 120 of our schools earned either an A or B, and we have no D or F schools in our district operated schools throughout Palm Beach County, which is terrific. And we have 2 schools that jumped 2 letter grades in a single school year, which is very difficult, but Pine Jog Elementary and Rosenwald Elementary School both rose from a C to an A. So we applaud the students and teachers and the teams there at both those schools. Our graduation rate at 92.1% remains the highest of the urban 7 school districts in Florida. Those are the largest school districts. And the class of 2025 that graduated just a few months ago back in May earned over $150 million in scholarships. And I had the chance this summer, for the past several years, we've been doing a summer internship program. And this year we were able to provide paid internships for 87 students. And these are typically juniors or seniors or recent graduates. And I can tell you the opportunity to work with these young people was a huge benefit for us as a school district, for our departments, for our schools. We had interns working in the classroom side by side with our students throughout summer school. And we get as much out of it as the interns do. For the interns, it's a great opportunity to get some on-the-job experience, something to put on their resume, and really, help their trajectory with their future career. And for our business partners out there, I would just like to encourage you to join us in this effort. If we could add more internships, I think it would go a long way. Looking ahead to the 25-26 school year, our mission remains the same, and that is to educate, affirm, and inspire each student in the equity-embedded school system. Safety will continue to be our top priority, and that's the highest priority for every member of Team Palm Beach. We use a multifaceted, layered approach to school safety that starts with a district school police officer on every campus, and in some cases more than one officer, and we do also partner with local law enforcement agencies to bolster that coverage. And you're going to hear from Chief Sarah Mooney in just a minute. All of our staff members carry their crisis alert badge. We've been doing this for a few years, but just as a reminder, these panic alert badges allow employees, anyone that encounters an emergency, to press that badge and alert their school administration, school police, and 911 with a simple clicking of a button. And that's another great layer of security. In Palm Beach County, we put a policy in a few years ago that all classroom doors are to remain locked. That later became law. So we were ahead of the curve, but we will continue to make sure all classroom doors stay locked to protect our students. And the best defense against any potential bad thing is see something, say something. Our students, our employees, our parents, we encourage everyone to take advantage of the Fortify Florida app. And if they see anything suspicious or anything they're concerned about, to please let us know. Any threat to our school will be investigated. And we if there are any incidents, we investigate and pursue those vigorously, and there are severe consequences for anybody that makes a threat. There's no such thing as a joke when it comes to threatening a school or a student or an employee. So students, please, it's a zero tolerance mandatory expulsion for anyone that does that, so be very careful. A new state law this year prohibits the use of cell phones and smart devices for elementary and middle school students during the school day. So for our elementary and middle school students, phones must be turned off or in airplane mode and put away throughout the entire school day. For our high school students, the policy is unchanged. It's going to be the same as last year. You are prohibited from using your phone during instructional or class time unless the teacher directs you otherwise, but you are able to break your phone out between classes or at the lunch period or pre and post school. So again, for high school students, no change, same rules as last year. For elementary and middle schools, big change. Those phones have to be put away all day long. One of our biggest challenges coming out of the pandemic, and this is not unique to Palm Beach, but the entire country, is student attendance. We've seen way too much missed school. And every day of school, every minute of instruction is important. So last year, we ramped up our efforts to improve attendance. We reminded our families of the importance, and we also put new protocols in place that when a student does have repeated absences, that we send letters home to the family. In the most extreme cases, we will do truancy petitions and potentially take families to court. And that is, of course, the last resort. But those measures worked. We saw absences drop 2.4%, but it's still too high. If you went back 2 school years, we had 20.3% of our students considered chronically absent, and then the most recent school year, that dropped to 17.9%. But again, at almost 18% of chronic absenteeism, that is way too high. And we know that students, when they come to class, they have a much better chance of graduating. They don't have to worry about missing work, missing assignments, and catching up. So parents, please help us with this and make coming to school every day and on time a priority. And when you get to school, we are proud to offer you a free breakfast and a free lunch. That's something we'll be able to continue here in Palm Beach County, and we have that in place for the next 3 years. So I think that is a great, great benefit to our families. On the facility side, we've been busy this summer. We do not shut down during the summer break. There's a lot of people working hard, but we are going to open 2 new campuses. And the first one is a modernization. We have completely rebuilt Winbrook Elementary School. And so that is the home of the Wildcats, and they will be coming back to their home campus on Monday in a beautiful state-of-the-art new facility. And then we're opening our 183rd school, and that is Saddle View Elementary near the Arden community. A beautiful new campus. You're going to hear more about that from Mr. Sanchez in a few minutes. We're also entering year 2 of Conmigo, and Conmigo is the AI chatbot student tutor. There's also a teacher version, but this will be the second year that we're providing Conmigo to all of our middle and high school students, and that's made possible through the Stiles Nicholson Foundation that is underwriting half the cost. And we're seeing results. Our engagement with Conmigo last year was very strong, and we had 96% of the students using Conmigo monthly, to a high level, and we found that those students that really used Conmigo to a great extent scored higher on their spring assessment exams. This summer, we had to sweat out the withholding of some federal funds. We had about $31.5 million that we were expecting July 1st, and it was almost the end of July before we got the word that those dollars would start flowing again. But I am very pleased that those dollars were released, and we can continue to offer those services as originally planned. So we were able to breathe a sigh of relief on that one. And I just want to say in closing here that we recognize at the School District of Palm Beach County that we are in a very competitive environment. Parents have more options than ever. So that's why it's so important that we live up to our motto each day, that to be your best choice. And I truly believe we are. And I can say that because I know we provide rigorous coursework starting at the elementary school level with accelerated math. That continues at the middle school level, where we have middle school students taking high school level courses and completing their Algebra 1. And then at the high school level, we have students that are taking college level courses with advanced placement, ACE, International Baccalaureate. We also offer career industry certifications. And on top of all the academics, I think families and students really value that complete educational experience. So we offer every sport recognized by the Florida High School Athletics Association. So we're big on athletics. We're home of many state champions. We celebrate the arts, and we embrace the arts throughout our schools. We've added music programs throughout our elementary schools. We've replaced and refurbished all the instruments in our middle and high schools, and we have some great partnerships with different venues across the county to showcase our students' arts. And then lastly, we are fortunate to offer a wide array of extracurricular activities. And I always encourage parents, as you start a new school year, please have your students sign up for something that they're interested in, whether it be a sport, music, the band, a club, just something that they enjoy that'll give them a little more extra incentive to come to school each day and be able to pursue more of their dreams. My last comment is that as the largest employer in Palm Beach County, we refer to our workforce as Team Palm Beach, and we're always looking for new members of the team. We've been staffing up this summer and we're in good shape. Our teacher vacancy rate is the lowest it's been since 2019 at 1.8%. That's about 200 vacancies for a district of our size, but we'll have all of our classrooms covered on the first day with professionals. But I would encourage anyone out there listening, if you've ever thought about working for the school district, we offer basically every type of job, from accountants to teachers to bus drivers, you name it, we offer it. And so if you have any interest in working for us, please check out our website, and you can see a lot of information about careers and how you go about applying. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up, and I'll be back later for questions. Thank you.
All right. Now we'll welcome our Chief of School Police, Sarah Mooney. Chief Mooney, please.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here this morning to speak a little bit about safety and security within the school district and our commitment. As Mr. Burke stated, that is our number one priority in the school district, the safety and security of our campuses and all of our facilities, our students, our staff, and all of our visitors. We use a multi-layered approach, as Mr. Burke spoke about a little bit before, while we work proactively with our campus staff and the students to keep everybody involved in proactively protecting our schools. Campus security is definitely a joint effort, and our number one resource on the campuses for safety and security is the people that are on our campuses. Although the people are the most important, we do have a lot of physical security layers that we have in place, but are not limited to the following. We have perimeter fencing on all of our campuses. We have established single points of entry on all of our campus during the school day. We have locked classroom doors during the day. One of the most important things that we can't drive home enough is the security within the campus, and locking doors is a number one thing for us. Our teachers, our staff, everybody is in charge of making sure that we're keeping our campuses secured throughout the day. We have access to the mobile crisis alert buttons. That's, as Mr. Burke spoke before, it's an ability for our staff. Everybody in the district that is a staff member has access to these mobile crisis alert buttons that can summon assistance if they have an emergency on their campuses. We have metal detectors in all of our high schools. We deployed that full-time last year. It was a very successful event. We have continued to do some training throughout the summer, training new people that are going to be helping our high schools to run those metal detectors on the campuses daily. We have done campus technology upgrades that include additional cameras on some of the campuses, in addition to card access readers to secure internal door locks within the campus that aren't necessarily classroom doors. We also enhanced our radio communications district-wide. So not only do we have new systems for our police officers, we also have new systems on each of the campuses in the district. That project took place over the summer and was completed last week. In addition, we have worked tirelessly over the past year to finalize our GeoComm mapping project, which is an upgrade to all of our facilities maps that are available to our first responder partners. In case of an emergency, they can pull up these maps remotely from their car terminals, their computers in their cars, and they can know exactly where they're going on a campus and have the layout of the campus, in addition to some points of interest that might be on the campus in case the emergency might be, say, fire related or a gas leak, that type of thing, so that the special points of interest on the campus are readily available to first responders so that they can address an emergency on a campus quicker. Our school police department, which received an Excelsior rating last year from the Florida Commission on Law Enforcement Accreditation, provides a minimum of one police officer on every campus in the district. So we have school police officers on every single campus starting day one, and that will go throughout the year. We work hand in hand with our district staff to conduct daily assessments of the physical security on the campuses, as well as interacting with the students on the campus to make sure that the behavioral issues and mental health issues, that somebody's always paying attention. We have trusted adults. We want to be part of that process so that our officers don't only act as security, but they're mentors on the campus, as well as facilitators and liaisons to our crisis response teams on the campus. Each campus has their own crisis response team that can address things that pop up. It may not be a security issue, but things that they might need more than one adult to respond to, our police officers are engaged with that also. We collaborate with our local law enforcement partners. We employ several of them to work throughout the district on various campuses to supplement our security. Part of that is a partnership so that our local law enforcement has a better familiarity with our campuses, so that if we ever needed to call them to come help, they know where they're going and they're familiar with the area when they get there. We also partner on some community initiatives like bike safety. Last year we had an uptick in incidences involving e-bikes and just regular bikes. It is a concern for us, and we partner with our local agencies to work on making sure that we allow kids to be kids, but at the same time that they're wearing helmets and they're aware of what they're supposed to be doing in regard to traffic laws in order to keep them safe and to avoid tragedies. Our officers work very closely with our Department of Safe Schools in order to ensure behavioral and mental health concerns are part of our safety initiatives. The district takes any and all threats very seriously and concerning behaviors. There's no joking when it comes to threatening anything on our campuses or anyone on our campuses. We have Fortify Florida available as an opportunity for people to report any concerning behaviors or threats 24/7. It can be anonymous, and it will thoroughly be investigated by law enforcement immediately upon receiving those tips. In closing, I'd like to reiterate the number one resource that we have on our campuses to ensure our safety and security is the people on the campuses. When you see something that looks out of place, let someone know. If you see something, say something. Safety is everybody's concern. There's no finish line to it, and we can all work together to ensure that we continue to maintain the safest campuses that we can. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chief Mooney. Now I will introduce Mr. Joseph Sanchez, our Chief Operating Officer. Mr. Sanchez.
Good morning, everyone. So I'll just give you some updates on where we are in operations. So I'll start out with transportation. So just to give you a little update. So there's still a nationwide shortage of bus drivers, but I'm happy to say that just like with teachers, we have our lowest vacancy rate in a long time for our teachers. For our bus drivers. We have 487 bus routes, and right now we currently have 527 drivers right now. So we still have more that we want to hire, so we can cover for those drivers when they're out. So, but we're in good shape. And I just want to assure parents that we're going to have we have a bus driver, a qualified bus driver for every single route that we have. I also want to encourage parents to register their students to ride. That's going to help us go to our website, do the register to ride. That's going to help us make sure our routes are as efficient as possible, and that avoids overcrowding the buses and making sure that we can have everybody picked up that's necessary. Also, I want to encourage them to use the Here Comes the Bus application, because that lets them know when the buses are arriving at their bus stop, and so they have a sense of peace of mind when their children are coming home or when they're being picked up and going to school. Also, we're starting the year out now with 13 electric buses, so we're very happy about that. Moving towards our goal to be more sustainable, so we're very proud about that. Again, I want to encourage everybody to remind their students to use their student IDs to swipe on and swipe off the buses. That's an added security feature. Let you know that the students are on the buses and making sure that they're getting on and getting off at the right stops. We also want to encourage parents to put name tags on little children, because sometimes little children are a little afraid to identify themselves to the bus drivers. We want our bus drivers to greet the children by name, just to build that bond and relationship over the course of the year. So if you're comfortable with doing that, please put a name tag on your child to help our bus drivers out. And just want to remind you that we have a call center that's available from transportation, that's available Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the phone number for the call center is 561-357-1110. That's 561-357-1110. As far as food services, our food service staff, we're fully staffed up with them as well, in good shape, and they're ready to serve. We're going to serve about 35 million meals this year. So that's a lot of food. And we're ready, as Superintendent Burke already mentioned, that once again, we're able to provide free breakfast and lunch for our students. So I want to make sure that students take advantage of that. On the facility side, again, Mr. Burke mentioned that we're very proud of the opening of Saddleview Elementary School out in the Arden community. That's a $41.7 million investment the district has made for a beautiful 96,000 square foot facility. It has a capacity of 970 students. and very happy with the fact that we built that 2 years early because of the growth that's occurring in the western communities. It has a great hydroponic gardens. It has a garden bed. Kids can grow fruits and vegetables out there. It has an esports there. All kinds of good things that's going to happen at Saddle View Elementary School. The kids are excited about that, I'm sure. We're also very happy to reopen Winbrook Elementary School, a school that's been around for 50 plus years. So we're very happy to be able to go back into our more established communities and rebuild those schools and give those communities also brand new facilities they can enjoy. On that campus, we relocated several mature oak trees that's going to be used to provide shade for those children, and also provide them with the state-of-the-art technology at that facility. We also did dozens and dozens of projects over the course of the summer, from roofs to air conditioning projects to new lighting projects, parking lots, all kinds of things over the summer. You may have seen us working diligently in our schools. We also rebuilt the cafeteria at Wellington High School. That's our ninth re-engineered cafeteria that's built kind of like a food court. So we're continuing to do those investments, and I want to thank the public for investing in the half-cent sales tax, which allows us to do many of those things. So thank you guys very much, and I'll stick around for questions as well.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Now I'll welcome up Mrs. Maria Bishop. She is our Chief Academic Officer, and she'll also provide a quick overview of some of the remarks today in Spanish for Spanish media. Thank you, Mrs. Bishop.
Thank you. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you today to share some academic updates. As Superintendent Burke shared, we are thrilled to be an A-rated school district again, and we are committed to building from our successes of last year. Today, I'll highlight some of our key accomplishments and how we're leveraging our successes and insights to achieve our goals. Over the past 2 years, we've seen an 8% increase in our third grade reading proficiency, a direct result of our intensive work with our literacy in grades pre-K through third grade. In algebra, the percentage of students that are testing for the first time has increased by 13% over the last 2 years. Our commitment to academic excellence begins with our youngest learners. To ensure our newest students are ready for school, in the spring and summer, we continued our transition to kindergarten campaign. We partnered with the Early Coalition to make sure that our families prepare their incoming kindergartners and to be ready for day one of school. To sustain this momentum, our focus continues to be on high-quality ELA instruction rooted in the science of learning, which has strengthened our foundational literacy across our K-2 classrooms throughout the district. To further support our educators, we're continuing to offer a series of professional learning opportunities for our teachers to strengthen their evidence-based best practices and their standards-based instruction. We're also going to continue our professional learning communities, which provides teachers opportunities to collaborate and plan for lessons that will reach all of their students and meet their needs. Building this strong academic focus, we're committed to expanding rigor and opportunities for all of our students. When you set high expectations for our students, they rise to the occasion. Our accelerated coursework initiative has been a success, with 79% of our high school graduating seniors having taken at least one advanced course this last year and maintaining our passing rates. We're looking forward to continuing to increase our accelerated participation rates among our students. And then lastly, I'm excited to share that we are expanding our district-wide community experiences, where our students get to get out of the classroom and get into the community. At the elementary level, our students will visit our kindergartners, the local libraries. The third grade students will visit the Mount Botanicals, and our fifth grade students will get to enjoy a show at the Kravis Center. At the middle school level, our students will experience arts and culture. Our sixth graders will experience that. Our seventh graders will experience science and nature. And our eighth grade students will experience some career exploration experience. And in closing, I want to acknowledge and appreciate the hard work of all of our teachers and administrators, and I look forward to an excellent year ahead. Okay, now I'm going to transition to providing some key highlights from our speakers today in Spanish for our language community and our media that's here today. A continuación se presentan los puntos claves de nuestros presentadores para compartir con nuestros medios de comunicación y comunidad de habla hispana. El distrito escolar cuenta con una calificación de A y estamos preparados para un excelente año escolar. Nos enorgullece dar la bienvenida a la clase del 2038 al Kinder. La seguridad de nuestros estudiantes es nuestra máxima prioridad. Contamos con un oficial de policía en cada campus escolar. Toda amenaza será tomada con seriedad, investigada y se tomarán las medidas apropiadas. Una nueva ley estatal exige que los estudiantes de primaria y escuela intermediaria guarden sus teléfonos celulares, los apaguen durante el horario escolar. Los estudiantes de escuela intermedia y secundaria continuarán teniendo acceso al Khan Academy, un chatbot impulsado por inteligencia artificial. El desayuno y el almuerzo seguirán siendo gratuitos para todos nuestros estudiantes. Todas las rutas de autobús estarán operativas el primer día de clase. Si su estudiante va a tomar el autobús, les recomendamos que se registren en su viaje en la página web de nuestro distrito escolar. La asistencia es fundamental. Los estudiantes que asisten a la escuela de manera regular y puntual tienen mayor probabilidades de graduarse de la escuela secundaria. Nuestro enfoque sigue siendo en una enseñanza de lectura de alta calidad, basada en la ciencia de lectura, lo cual ha mejorado la alfabetización fundamental en todas las aulas de kinder, primero y segundo grados. A partir de esta sólida base académica, nos hemos comprometido a aumentar el rigor y las oportunidades para todos nuestros estudiantes. El año pasado, el 79% de los estudiantes que se graduaron tomaron al menos un curso avanzado y nuestras tasas de aprobación se mantuvieron estables. Tenemos la tasa de graduación más alta entre los 7 distritos escolares en la Florida, con un 92.1%. Y solicitamos a toda nuestra comunidad que extremen precauciones en las vías a partir del lunes, ya que estudiantes, familias y personal se dirigirán a las escuelas. Y finalmente, les agradezco al gran esfuerzo de nuestros maestros y administradores y espero que tengan un excelente año. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bishop. I'll invite all of our leaders to come join behind me, Superintendent Burke, Mr. Sanchez, Chief Mooney, and Mrs. Bishop, if you'll join behind me. And we'll take 2 questions from each outlet, if we have any.
I guess I can start with Superintendent Burke. Obviously, one of the biggest concerns that we're seeing across the country, and you kind of brought this up with some of the programs you have, is schooling and AI. A lot of times we see it can be benefits to the students, but have you guys addressed concerns about students using AI when they get home, using stuff to help write papers, cheating obviously? That's a major concern. It seems like it's inevitable for some districts to have to deal with. How are you guys dealing with those issues? While there's positives, obviously there's negatives with AI as well.
Right. Well, first, we believe the pros and the benefits outweigh the cons, and we think this is a valuable tool that our students must be familiar with and know how to use if they're going to be successful in the workforce. So we mentioned earlier, Khan Academy. That's a great AI tool that's going to help our students with individualized attention, where maybe a teacher's busy with 25 students and working her way around a classroom. The students can quickly turn to the AI chatbot, Khanmigo, and get some help. We work with our teachers, not with just the assignments they provide. Our teachers are pretty adept at recognizing students' work from things that may have been generated elsewhere on ChatGPT or Gemini or other products. So that is something we guard against. But again, I think to just completely eliminate AI or forbid it would be a mistake. We need our students to get familiar with it. We want them to develop that higher order thinking to where they're using AI in a productive manner, where they know how to set those parameters, they know how to filter through to what is relevant, good information versus noise. And I think it's a skill set that we all need to utilize. We have a committee formed an AI task force that we've made part of our strategic plan 2 years ago, and they are developing a policy to bring to our school board in the fall so that we'll have a formal policy to really govern AI from all aspects. And it's not just in the classroom. We are starting to utilize AI in our departments, in areas like human resources. You know, those chatbots can be helpful with frequently asked questions. We're starting to roll that out, and we look to expand that and take advantage of the efficiencies we can gain as a school district, because we know we're always lean on resources, and we have to make the most of what we have each year. So I'm excited about that possibility as well.
And then another question for you, sir. Obviously, you've talked in the past, over the past months, about, you know, you're working and beholden to the budget that the state set. You've told our station that, you know, you feel accomplished even with a, quote, lean budget. Talk about the challenges of the budget that you have, and what are some things you'd like to see, but unfortunately, because of the budget restraints, you haven't been able to do this year.
Absolutely. So Florida's 46th in the nation in terms of funding per student, and that brings a host of challenges. The biggest challenge is being able to compensate our employees competitively and fairly and be able to give them a wage where they can live in Palm Beach County. So with the budget for this current school year, the state provided us a 1.3% increase in per student funding. And that 1.3% is quickly eaten up with rising costs like health insurance, pension contributions, and part of that money is earmarked for teacher pay. The state budgeted $100 million for teacher salary increases across Florida. And $100 million sounds like a big number, but when you break that down for Palm Beach County, our share of that $100 million is about $6 million, and it takes $10 million just to provide a 1% raise. So that $6 million that was provided for teacher raises in Palm Beach County is a 0.6% raise. And I can tell you any raise that starts with a zero is doesn't go too far, right? So that's our biggest challenge. We have balanced our budget. We will bring a final budget recommendation to the board in September. We've covered all of our rising costs and necessities, and the board takes the budget process very seriously, and the board prioritizes employee compensation. But it's going to be difficult this year to come up with a meaningful salary increase. Now, the good news is we've enjoyed the support of our voters, and we have a 1 mil property tax levy in Palm Beach County with half of that money going to teacher pay. So our average teacher salary is just under $70,000, and that is the highest in South Florida. We are doing better than our neighbors and around the state. Our starting teacher salary is $53,000, and that's competitive as well. But again, to live on $53,000 in Palm Beach County is getting harder and harder each year.
Good morning. I wanted to ask about what would be unique about this particular school year. Are there any? We've got a lot of people coming in to the county, never lived here before. What should those parents expect their students to experience? What should they expect to experience with the Palm Beach County School District?
You know, I don't think there's anything really that much out of the ordinary for the upcoming school year. We're going to build on our success. We're going to do things that we know work. You heard from Ms. Bishop, our Chief Academic Officer, on the importance of early literacy. You've heard me talk about the complete educational experience. You know, I want students to have those opportunities, whether it's in sports or music or the arts. But what I would tell parents new to the area, and I've heard this firsthand from parents that have relocated from the Northeast, some families move to Palm Beach County and they're under the impression that they've got to go to a private school, right? They feel like that's a necessity. And I've heard from many families that went ahead and made the decision to give our local public schools a chance, and they were very happy they did. I think our public schools provide better options, more robust choice, and we are held to a high standard. We are tested, you know, we have state testing, we are graded, and that level of accountability you do not find in a private school. So I would ask our new families to learn more about our district, give us a chance. We are working on our customer service. That's something I take very seriously. We want to welcome families to our schools, give them a chance to take a tour, meet the principal, meet some teachers, and if they give us that opportunity, I'm confident they'll be glad they did.
There's been a lot of talk about the stress with mixed status families and families who are, maybe their parents are undocumented. What sort of things, if any, resources the district has to kind of ensure that these kids are able to continue going to school without disruption?
Yes, well, we've been very fortunate. We have not had any incidents on our campuses There hasn't been any visits from Homeland Security or ICE. I was really pleased with some comments Sheriff Bradshaw made last spring, where he indicated schools would not be a place where he would be worried about. You know, he was focused more on criminals that may be doing bad things, and that they would that's where they'd focus their attention. I've met with some local groups, some local pastors, and really just encourage them to please continue to bring your children to our schools. I can't guarantee absolute safety, but what I can tell you is we've trained all of our school administrators and principals that if anyone were to visit our campus, we're not just going to turn over students, right? They're going to have a warrant. The first thing our school administrators are going to do is call our Office of General Counsel, and we're going to get our attorneys involved, and we're going to review any paperwork they have. And if there is not a valid warrant, no one's going to see any of our students. So, thank you.
I wanted to ask about the new cell phone policy that forbids elementary and middle school kids from having cell phones. I've heard from teachers that the high school cell phone rule is, everyone knows what the rule is, but when students violate the rule, that there aren't clear consequences. And I wanted to find out, how will you all enforce the rules regarding cell phones for elementary and middle school kids?
Yeah, so we had our back to school administrator training a few weeks ago, and this was a topic that we covered to give them some guidance. We recently helped our principals with letters that they could send home to their parents that would explain there are consequences, and we'll adhere to the student code of conduct, but those phones can be taken away if needed. They can be sent to the office and held till the end of the day until the parent retrieves it. So we will be taking those measures. What I'm hopeful and is that people will acclimate to this new law, and we've made it clear with our school administrators. This week they've been meeting with all of their teachers, setting the ground rules and training their teachers, and then of course now the students will be subject to those requirements when they return on Monday. But we will adhere to student code of conduct again, and work with our school administrators to do that consistently throughout Palm Beach County.
The mobile crisis alert buttons, does every school have the same amount? How many would that be, and how accessible is that for faculty and staff?
Every member of the faculty has a mobile crisis button, including the substitute teachers. So it's whatever the school needs. We make sure we have it, and that system's in place, and we make sure that's part of, when you get your badge to be an employee, it's accompanied with the crisis mobile alert badge.
Were there any rough spots that you had last year that helped you prepare for this year?
Last year was a pretty good year. I'm reflecting on our graduations, and it was a beautiful thing. And we learn each day from all of our experiences. But I think collectively we had a good year last year, and we look forward to even a better school year ahead.
All right. Well, I do want to thank Superintendent Burke for making himself available to you all, as well as our leaders behind me, Mrs. Bishop, Chief Mooney, and Mr. Sanchez. And thank you to our partners in the media for covering today's event. Thank you. Have a great day.